Alright, I am starting to stream. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you're all having a nice day. I have a rather large hobby project that I get to finish off tonight. I've been working on these Malifaux miniatures for a good long time. And I just have the base rims left to paint on them, which is pretty exciting. I'm looking forward to getting them finished up, because then they'll be all ready for Adepticon, which I needed them to be ready for, so... Hi, Anno. Sorry to hear that you can't sleep. Not that I can say that's anything particularly new for you. Other than that, I hope you're doing okay. Hi, Josh. Hi, Brady. I can't sleep, but it's barely 7 o'clock here. It's 6:53, so, I won't be sleeping for a little while. What I will be doing instead, painting miniatures, and then probably after this, I'll watch the latest episode of, The Last of Us, which I saved for today. I literally have done all of the basing except the rims, and all of the paint seems to be drying out in the top parts of my paint bottles lately. So I'm gonna see if I can't just scoop out some paint or get some non-dried paint out from there. Yeah, it's still viable inside there. That's exactly what they tell you not to do, actually, to get paint all the way up on top. Fix that. You pretend like I take care of my brushes. I'm sure I can get some to come out. I don't know if this bottle might just be on its last legs or what, but it was getting all dried up in the cap. Maybe I'm just at the point where, you know, I've had the majority of my paints I've had for a year or more, so I think I'm just at the point where I'm starting to really run out of certain colors. I'm gonna do the base rims in this, like, pastel yellow, so that they look like cake that's been frosted. And I think this is a pretty decent color for yellow cake. Hello, Goober. I knew that I was blooping, actually. I was like, I need to close that. Let me get that all closed out. Yeah, paint struggles. Hi, Soda. Hi, Goober. It's nice to see everybody. I watched the Necromundown video that you had. I watched that, and I watched another video essay on that film Skinamarink that I've been obsessed with. Well, not obsessed with, more like terrified by and fascinated by my own horror. So that was what I watched with dinner, and I always appreciate having some fun content to watch, even if it's at kind of polar opposite ends of the spectrum, as this turned out to be. It was good. You should watch Miniatures Rundown if you haven't given that a try. They talked a little bit more about how to get into Necromunda. And with every video, I gradually feel like I'm going to understand and enjoy playing Necromunda. I posted a short today that was a little teaser. I'm just making a quick video where I show off all the miniatures that I painted. And by that I mean like completely finished painting in the month of January. So if you were curious, I know some people have been asking to see like my armies and stuff like that. I think I might do a couple videos that are really just a lot of turnaround shots of the various things that I've painted, and I'll probably talk a little bit about what each project is or something like that. Nothing really intense or super fascinating, but just well, people have been asking to see my finished products, so I figure I ought to show them. Give the people what they want. Tonight, however, I am doing what I want, which is finishing my Malifaux crew. I think I've had most of the miniatures for this, like the core crew, I've had sitting around for at least a full year, if not 2 years, as like stuff I'm going to get around to painting. I kept telling my friend Mark, who bought me my starter box for Malifaux, that I'd get around to it. That I was gonna get it, I was gonna paint it at some point, and he was like, oh yeah, oh sure, you'll paint it. But now I get to show him that I did paint it, I got round to it, just like I said I would. It would be pretty embarrassing to show up to Adepticon after having owned these miniatures for months with unpainted minis. And yes, I do think the frosting that drips down from the base onto the base rim just makes it look more like cake, and I'm sure it's sacrilege to leave it there and not cover it up. But they're my miniatures and I can do what I want with them. That's really what this amounts to. I had a way better Monday than I was expecting. It wasn't perfect, but it wasn't terrible either. Sometimes that's the best that I can hope for. I had a really rough Sunday night. I had almost deleted a bunch of important files off my computer and had to figure out how to recover them. Fortunately, tech support was actually helpful and was able to get me all of my files back, so no harm done in the end, but it was definitely an anxious, like, hour 45 that I was like, all of my stuff is gone and I don't know what happened to it. I hate when I have technical issues like that. Someone in my Discord, I think it was Josh, posted about the Super Bowl happening this weekend, and I was just like, yeah, I've really been not going into an office and not around a bunch of, like, people, because I had literally no idea that was happening. I'm not going to pretend like I care about sports at all. I don't, so it really makes no difference to me who wins at all. But apparently we're getting the next Last of Us episode a little bit sooner to not compete with view time for the Super Bowl. What are you kit bashing? Jeez, Soda. That sounds intense. Something childish and vulgar? Like, or I guess juvenile, you said. Is this for Necromunda or is this for something else? This is gonna need 2 coats. Hopefully I can get some more paint out of this bottom. It's struggling. We'll see what we can do. It is indeed Necromundin. Okay, that's fair. If you have to keep your secrets, I understand. Just be sure to show me when you're done, because you've piqued my curiosity now. I'm hoping with these bases, I mean, I don't think anyone's gonna look at them, besides me, of course, and immediately go, ah yes, those are Candyland themed, but I'm hoping that there will at least be the recognition that these are all candy themed. I think it'll be close enough. I'm really happy with how they look. And that's the most important part. Hello, Atomic Topher. How's it going? It's actually really funny because at Adepticon, there's some kind of Malifaux event. I didn't read the rules of it too intensely, but I'm currently signed up for it. And it's got something to do with Malifaux and cupcakes. Like, I don't know the exact rules. I do know that everybody's gonna laugh when I show up to a cupcake-themed event with a candy team. And I'm gonna get asked if I painted these miniatures specifically for that event. And I'm just gonna have to say, no, I am literally just like that. I think this red gummy bear might be my favorite of all of the ones that I painted. He's just so cute. Yeah, exactly. When I took a look at that, I sent the descriptions over to Mark and I was like, hey, I know that this is very me, but here are the weird events that are going on, because Weird is the company who makes Malifaux, and I'm like, I don't know if you want to do it, but if I had to pick one, I'm definitely picking the cupcake-themed one. And he was like, yeah, that tracks. This will leave the only painted Malifaux miniature that I have unbased as the Christmas tree Groot slang one, and I kind of wanted to see about doing a Christmassy base for him, so I'm not sure if I'll do the same basing. I ran out of blue frosting, so not sure about that. And then I looked because I was talking about how I was going to do the basing for the knights, and I thought I had some square tokens just as, like, generic tokens for Bloodborne, the board game, but I don't. There were no generic Square tokens in there. So I'm back to, ironically, square one with, with trying to figure out how to get a bunch of squares, that won't be me spending hours cutting out squares from foam or something. I think what's going to happen is I'm going to have to spend hours cutting out foam from something. Which is unfortunate. But hey, sometimes that's just how it be. I don't think it would be a project full of my titans, which didn't involve me doing something slightly ridiculous and very time-consuming. If GW ever has a Titan Ice Cream Fiesta, I'll be all set. Absolutely. Well, not quite. I don't have a 2,000 point Titan army yet. Still working on that. I have to paint up those baby Titans. And, even when they're painted up, it won't quite be a full 2,000 points. So I need to get one more big knight at some point. I really want to get a Knight Dominus. I'm probably going to get a Knight Dominus. I'm hoping to get lucky with the used miniatures section, of Adepticon. Because if I can find some knights that are just a little bit cheaper than MSRP, I will feel like I got a deal. And that's a great feeling to have. Alright, Anno, get some rest. I hope you can sleep. Thanks for stopping by. Always appreciate you dropping in. Fiverr shows up, excuse me, this event was for making cupcakes, not miniatures into cupcakes? Yeah, something like that. Listen, I might not be the player with the best painted miniatures or the best strategy or anything like that, but I think for the most part, most of the time, I'm willing to say 75% of the time, I will be the one with the cutest miniatures there. And that's gotta count for something. I think there's also, like, bonus points if you show up to the event with cupcakes that you brought. I don't know that I'm gonna have a chance to run by any bakeries or anything like that while I'm up there, but if I do, I'll show up with some cupcakes, and that'll be kind of funny. Lila was telling me that I just had to bring my Strawberry Knight along, and that it belongs in the Adepticon display case, which is very kind of her to say. I don't know that I quite agree. And certainly I can't send the knight to Adepticon without its basing done, so I really am gonna have to figure that out. cupcakes to bribe the judges with? I don't know. It's just in the event listing that you get something extra for bringing cupcakes along. Didn't say what. The event was only a $7 registration fee, so it's one of the cheaper Adepticon events. Which is nice. I haven't signed up for very many events, because I just wanted to hang out and have plenty of time to paint and game. I know Soda's bringing some Necromunda minis, and I'm going to learn how to play Necromunda, which is going to be fun. I'm going to bring plenty of stuff to paint so that people can paint. I didn't have any time, I didn't bring any painting supplies and didn't have any time to paint there last year, which was a big regret of mine. I really wanted to do that, so I'm going to bring all of my cool painting stuff. And by that, I just mean I'm going to bring stuff to paint. I don't really have any cool, quote-unquote, painting stuff. It's regular painting stuff. It's in March, yeah? Yep. It's March 22nd through 26th. I added a bunch of strawberry blood to this guy because I thought that would be kind of fun. He's like the big brawler. So it makes sense for him to have blood all over his base and his gross little mouth. I said little mouth. It's a large mouth. That mouth is bigger than some of the other entire miniatures in this gang. Crew? I think they're crews in Malifaux. Gangs in Necromunda. There's too many different things to call your collection of little guys that you fight with. You call the Malifaux ones gangs too, and no one stopped you yet? Well, maybe they are gangs. I don't really know. There's sure are a lot of terms out there for different things in gaming that you're supposed to remember, and I'm not always the best when it comes to remembering them. And that's just gonna have to be okay. I think, regardless of whether I say gang or crew or little guys, as long as people know what I'm talking about, it should work out fine. Gang, crews, pals, all the same. Exactly. Exactly. They're all just your little guys that you get to play with. Speaking of playing, I've made yet more progress in the end game of Elden Ring. I have reached Michaela's Haligtree. I didn't mean to speed through the Consecrated Snowlands, but the first area that I sort of came to and was curious about was the village full where you have to solve that Evergaol puzzle with the disappearing you have to light statues, and there are Black Knife assassins and Albinauric archers around, so it's a little bit tricky to figure out where all of the statues are, because like a lot of them are hidden on rooftops and things like that. But if you buy the sentry torch from the hermit merchant in Leyndell, you can have that, and it will show the Black Knife assassins, which are usually invisible. So that was pretty damn useful to have on you. Does mean I have to fight one-handed as opposed to two-handed, which I don't prefer, but it is what it is. And we got there in the end. So now I'm standing on this massive tree with all these mushrooms and curving branches, and those little flute guys are trying to shoot you with bubbles, which is actually pretty cute. You can have a bubble blower as a weapon, which is freaking adorable. I don't think it's very powerful though, and it looks like it takes magic to be able to use it, so that's right out for me. I did not scale for magic at all. Yeah, a bubble wand. It's like a horn that they play and bubbles come out of it. Hi 80, how's it going? Well, they're like lightning bubbles or something. I don't exactly know. You try not to get hit by them or they hurty. Then they hurty bubbles and it's not good. I'm sure you can Google, like, Elden Ring bubble blowing enemies. I don't remember what they're called. But they're weird looking little guys. Very round. But yeah, that's where I'm at with Elden Ring, in case you were keeping track of my progress. And then after I'm done Elden Ring, or maybe slightly before, mid-through, you know? I was talking with my buddy Adam today, and we were like, man, it kind of sucks that we don't play Borderlands anymore because Mark's in college and the timeline doesn't really add up all too great. And we were like, I was like, man, I just really want to hang out. I don't care if we're playing the same game even or not. And we found out that he was like, you know what, let's play Dark Souls 3 at some point, because you've never beaten it. And we were going to, and then it didn't work out, so we're going to try playing some Dark Souls 3. We'll see how that goes. I started a new Dark Souls 3 playthrough because I re-downloaded it, and I was just like, I want to have this ready for whenever we decide to play it. And my character has already just gotten through the tutorial area, so we accomplished that pretty easily. Insomnia happened, and you've got the Ben 10 theme stuck in your head. Oh man. At least it's not the King DDD theme. You've had that in your head a couple of times. I think you just listen to songs that are easy to get stuck in your head. Then again, I'm pretty infamous for getting the worst songs stuck in my head as well, because a couple of days ago I had the Fairly Odd Parents theme song stuck in my head, and that was deeply unpleasant. Not a fan of that at all. Green Moose, Rubber Goose, yes, Goober, that is not helping. Don't list the spell components, okay? We don't need to get it stuck in my head again. Oh, these are so cute. They really do just look like little cakes. Goals becoming achieved. Go. That should be enough yellow paint to finish it out, I hope. I'm really beating the crap out of some of these brushes. It's alright. It happens. You figured out how to sculpt some weird, gross eyes. That's cool. The Iron-Blooded Orphans theme song is great. The season one, I love that song. It slapped. So, I would not complain if that were stuck in my head. Unfortunately, that's not the case. Last one, and then I just have to wait for the base rims to dry. Then they're all done. Forever. That's kind of neat. I think they'll be really fun to play games with. Hee hee. Yeah. Awesome. I'll take some good photos of them too, so you can get a decent look. They definitely look better as a group than if you focus on any individual's face in particular, 'cause some of them have very small faces that are pretty tricky to get a decent paint job on, at least at my current skill level. Struggle with faces for sure, but I think that's a pretty common struggle. While I have this yellow, I might as well give some of these miniatures that are sitting around that need a dry brush the dry brush that they need. I really do love how much dry brushing and washes can make you look like you painted something way better than you did. I like how this is looking, like, unsettlingly green. It really lends something kind of creepy. An ominous glow to all of these. Which totally works for Bloodborne. There's an Aibo kit you would, sorry, some of that I'm getting, 80. Some of that I'm not. There's another, Iron-Blooded Orphans kit that I would like. Is that what you're saying? I do love the Gushin because he's chunky. I need to go back and actually finish painting him at some point. I keep saying I'll get round to it, and then I don't get round to it, but considering I just finished the Malifaux minis that I said I would get round to, clearly I will get round to it at some point. It's just a matter of when. Those actually don't look so bad. I might keep them like that. Kind of like that look for them. It's called the HG Man Roadie. Okay, cool. I'll have to check that out. Hopefully I remember to after this stream. I'll try to like keep that in my mind as something I should do. I have not seen the last episode of The Last of Us yet, Josh, so if you have opinions, don't share them with me yet. I'm a little bit behind on it. I know, I'm slacking. I'm failing you. Let's see. I'll work a little bit more on some of the other Bloodborne minis I want. While I try and troubleshoot in my brain what I'm gonna do for getting squares for the night bases that I need. It's really something I gotta figure out, and quickly. But it should all come together. Oh, okay, you watched episode 2 of The Last of Us? I feel like episode 3 just came out. Am I mistaken? I haven't watched it, so I don't know. It's episode 4? Oh, jeez. Okay. Right. I've seen up to episode 3. I've seen episode 3. The one with Nick Offerman I've seen. I just haven't watched any of them past that. So I think it's episode 4 that I need to watch. That'll be the latest one. I think just about everybody was getting on the episode before that for 10 miles outside of Boston being like woods and forests and stuff, when really it's just more urban areas. Okay, we are on episode 4. Alright, thank you. I appreciate that. Let's It's good to keep me apprised of stuff like this. Numbers are hard. Here's yet another bottle that's... Maybe I'm the problem for how these bottles keep clogging up on me. Although the scale 75 ones have always been a little bit dubious for me. Nope, it's this one too. There must be something. I don't know what it is. All of the paint seems to be drying up in the little nozzles. I really got no idea. It's like 3 bottles in a row that have just been all dried up. And like I screw the caps on all the way when I'm done with them, so I really don't know what's going on with that. There's another one. That is seriously so weird. Let's see if maybe I have a speed paint I can do some stuff with. Try out something different. Hi, Hector. I hear you, buddy. Did you stop by to say hello? It's Zelda music again? Yeah, I think this is just the one that auto-plays after, after the Moomin playlist I listened to ends. This is just the one that YouTube is like, this is what you want to listen to next, so have some Zelda music. Hope you enjoy! Hector meowed and then ran away, so I didn't catch him on camera, I'm sorry. Sometimes he does that because he's a funky little lad. A few minutes to dry, and then we're gonna slap a wash on it and we'll build back that glow later. I do need to paint the bases brown for these ones, so we'll do that. Gonna mix up a slightly different color. See what we get. I won't be doing anything overly fancy for these bases. I may put just a little bit, a few flowers or a tuft or something like that on them. Maybe a splatter of blood here or there. And these ones will, surprisingly enough, get a black base rim. Just a simple, nice black. You just learned how to spell torso? I don't know when I learned how to spell torso, or if I, like, consciously thought about that one. That's one of those nice ones that you can sound out, so. I appreciate any word that is spelled the way that it sounds. That often makes it much easier for me. Hector ninjas in, leaves a stink bomb, and escapes. Nah, he didn't leave no stink bomb. He fine. He not stinky. He's a good boy. I think for these ones, I'm gonna try Drakenhof Nightshade. I don't always like what this wash does, but this is for Bloodborne enemies, and I think I tend to associate them with more blues and purples than I do the average miniature, so I think this should work just fine. I'm trying to work like with the staining effect that it wants to give, so hopefully everything works out just fine and ends up looking cool. And if it doesn't, that's okay. I made an effort, and that counts for something too. I made an effort, but I also didn't spend months and months and months on these miniatures. I spent about 40 minutes, maybe. Glow honestly looks pretty dope. I think part of that might be reactivation. Getting a nice like swirl on the parts that I put some speed paint on, so that's kind of a free bonus there. As long as it looks cool, I don't mind. A lot of cool stuff in Bloodborne has like sort of galaxy swirling vortex of stars sort of motifs to it, so I certainly don't mind when that sort of weird stuff happens on minis. I don't know if I would quite call it a galaxy pattern, but you know, with their holy moonlight swords and their weird cosmic beings, there's a lot of star energy that goes on. Someone knows what I'm talking about. Those will need to dry now. Yeah, I'm honestly satisfied with how the player characters look, considering I didn't spend that much time on them. They look okay. I'm happy enough to find some basing material and see what we have to stick on there. Gonna have a look through my drawer. I'm sure I have some grass tufts or something somewhere. It would stand to reason. You hear more Hector? Yeah, he's around somewhere or other. He comes and goes. He wanders. Yes, okay, great. We have flowers and grass tufts. So we should be able to do something. And I have some super glue. Whether it's completely dried out or not, that's another matter. I don't think it's completely dried out. Yep, it's still good. Awesome. I know they have like sticky stuff on the bottoms of them, but I just like to make sure that they're really stuck down. That one got some cat hair in it, which is kind of funny. Do I grass tuft before or after varnish? Well, most of the time I don't varnish, 'cause I'm terrible. So, almost always that's going to be a before for me. Kind of a before by default, but we'll count it as a before. The best varnish is clearly dust. I don't know, one time, the first time I ever tried to varnish a mini, I messed it up really bad, and it left this kind of like dusty texture on it. And though I know, like, people have told me how to varnish to avoid getting that again, I've just never been bold enough to try. I'm like, well, what if it messes up something that I've worked really hard on? So that's why all of my miniatures go unvarnished, and then instead of the varnish messing up the miniature, overuse will eventually mess up the miniature, which is, in a way, just as bad. I don't know why I'm putting so many tufts on these, but apparently I am. It's fine. I'll throw maybe a wash or something over them once they're done, just to tie them together. I do like that I get to paint the doll miniature as a player character. Feels only appropriate that I have to put flowers around the doll, though. That's just how it is. That's just what you do. I don't have any white lilies, but I think at a pinch these blue ones look pretty nice. Put an extra tuft on the head like troll doll hair. No! you. That's too goofy for these minis. They gotta be kind of serious. Okay, let's see. We have done some base rims. We've put some tufts on minis, which is cool. I have to wait for these guys to dry before I can really do too much else with them. And then I'm waiting for the super glue to dry on these bases. So I know I haven't been streaming for that long, but I might go ahead and end it here, just because I've made good progress on the projects that I wanted to work on. It is a Monday, so I'm a little bit tired because I had to go back to work. And I'll still have more time to work on stuff throughout the week. I don't know if I'll stream again soon. I might stream tomorrow, I might not. I've been having a lot of fun with working on these Bloodborne miniatures, and having having a stream helps with the motivation. But yeah. Sorry. Sorry, Josh. I'm sorry that you just got here and I'm thinking about closing up for the night, but I don't have anything close to hand to work on, and I do want to watch the next Last of Us episode. So I'm gonna head out. Yeah. You have all my video on demand streams. You can always watch one of those if you feel like you need more sugar candy miniatures in your life, Josh. It's there for you. I appreciate you being so encouraging and wanting me to make more content. But I think for tonight, I'm just gonna have the short little one. And, you know, it's still almost an hour. That's not terrible. You got some content. Well, I hope you survive your creepy basement, and that there's nothing sinister down there that hunts you while you airbrush your miniatures. Doo-doo-doo. And on that... Oh, wait. I'm gonna put you with the other mouth. And on that slightly ominous and harrowing thought, good night, everybody. I'll see you in the next one.